Welcome, everybody, to Mission Ignited. I'm Swami Tirtha, and today we have someone else who has ignited multiple missions. I'm so happy to introduce you to the Dr. Love, the Love Revolution founder, Elizabeth Rosner. Dr. Oz. Welcome, Dr. Oz.
Oh, my sweet friend Swami, thank you, thank you, thank you for having me. I'm so delighted to be here. It is an honor and joy, and you are such a love bug. You just exude love in all that you do, and truly, it is amazing synergy for me to be with you. So thank you.
Yeah, when you speak, the real feeling of love comes right out, and so it just changes the energy. So this is wonderful. Dr. Roz's background, she is the follows the principles of Kingian Nonviolence 365, and that they champion transformative changes through radical love and strategic action. Its mission is to empower individuals and communities to dismantle systemic barriers and build a more just and equitable world. This vision is deeply rooted in the practical application of nonviolence every day. So practical application is great because theory, everything sounds good in theory, right?
Right, right.
So Dr. Raz also established a debt-free degree. Debt-free degree, it rhymes, it's very poetic.
Thank you.
So it's an initiative dedicated to making higher education accessible and affordable, underline affordable, and leading with LOVE, love, a framework fostering compassionate leadership and community building. Through these interconnected endeavors, Love Revolution cultivates a movement where love is not an emotion but a powerful force for societal evolution. Welcome to the program, Dr. Love.
Thank you, thank you, Swami. I appreciate it. I appreciate being here so very much.
Great. So let's how do you tell what you said you have a mission. Tell us let's start with what your mission is.
Our mission is 8 billion people loving 8 billion people one heart at a time.
Okay.
Every single person on the planet, extending agape love to every other single person on the planet.
And for those who might not know agape love, that means
Agape love is unconditional love. So
mm,
it is not looking at someone and evaluating whether or not they deserve your love. It is encountering someone and saying, "You have a heartbeat, you have dignity, therefore I extend love to you. You have worth on this planet. There's a reason why you're on the planet at this time. And so, what you need to bring to the world is vastly needed. And therefore, I'm going to extend agape love. I may not like everything that you do, but I'm
mhm.
going to extend that love to you."
Okay. That's is that easier said than done?
Well, yes, it is easier said than done because here's the thing, I have a really good friend named Cledra Gross, and she talks about in our brain that we all have these loops that are open. And so she talks about what a gift it is to our brain to close the loops. Close the loops just means make a decision and then it's done. And so the thing about it is, Swami, is I never have to make that decision. It's so easy for me. I don't have to look at someone and evaluate. I don't have to look at someone and go, "Did you meet the criteria or not?"
Right.
Or, are you this political party, therefore I love you? Do
Right.
you have this much melanin in your skin, or you don't have that much melanin in your skin,
Mm.
therefore I love you? Like I don't have to go through all that criteria. You're
Right.
a human and you're on the planet and I love you. Easy. Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Beautiful. So
Yeah,
like they say, 30 days you rewire your brain to new neural pathways. So maybe that's all it takes is just a commitment to.
exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So how do you manage the sheer scale of your mission of 8 billion people to love 8 billion people?
Well, it's the scale, 8 billion people living 8 billion people, comma, one heart at a time. That's how
Yeah.
I manage it. How do I show up every single day? So I'm an entrepreneur, and many entrepreneurs have very many, we set metrics of success for ourselves. For
Mhm.
me, my metrics of success, I have a very strong relationship with my higher power. So for me, my metrics of success are obedience, love, and connection. Was
Mhm.
I obedient to my higher power today?
Mhm.
Was I loving to myself and loving to others today? Did I connect to others today? Did I connect others with others today? And those are my metrics. And so that's how I do it every single day. Sometimes it's one-on-one conversations with you. But see, here's the thing, Swami, between your community and my community, you and I are going to spend X amount of time together, but then it's going to go out to
Right.
how many thousands of people? And then if
Right.
they share it, how many tens of thousands of people? And so it is one heart at a time, but then we're
Yeah.
all interconnected.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like that fractal where you cut that. How does that work? You cut the edge off of a 3D something, and then it has everything in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So you touch one heart, you've touched all hearts.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Whether or not we realize it or not.
How did you get connection with Martin Luther King, Dr. King?
So this is really an amazing story. So for those of you who are listening and not watching, I'm white, and you probably can hear in my voice that I'm Southern. So I grew up in Athens, Georgia, which is about an hour and a half from downtown Atlanta, and the King Center is there in downtown Atlanta. And I was 48 years old before I even knew it existed.
Hmm.
And I really grew up in a very white bubble that basically said, you know what, there is no more racism, there's equality, we're all good. There's racism is behind us. And
Right.
so I believed that for a really long time. I was also taught, Swami, explicitly and implicitly, that the Civil War was fought not over slavery but over states' rights. And so through my PhD work, I read Race Matters by Dr. Cornel West. And that really opened my eyes because I realized, yes, my high school was 50% Black, but my college prep classes were not. And
Hmm.
so even there was inequality. And
Hmm.
so I started thinking about it. And then my son was in ninth grade and he was studying US history. And I actually said to him, Alexander, the Civil War was not fought over slavery, it was over states' rights. And he goes, Mom, the states' rights to do what? Now, Swami, God gave me the kind of brain that when Alexander asked a question like that, I heard him and thought about my answer. I
Hmm.
think for a lot of people, a question like that would come in and bounce off because it's so indoctrinated into who we are that that question would seem out of place and you would just dismiss the person asking the question. But I didn't. And I began really thinking about it. And then I began doing some investigation. I began doing what I call unlearning and relearning. And that's how I found the King Center. And so found them on Twitter, and they announced they were going to do a 2-day orientation to Dr. King's philosophy. And
Hmm.
so that was April of 2018. That was the first time I'd ever been to the King Center. It was the first time I knew it existed. It was also the first time I'd ever read anything by Martin Luther King. The only
Hmm.
thing I even knew about Dr. King was the I Have a Dream speech, which
Right.
I was taught meant that we should just be colorblind, that we should just not see race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so there, I had a lot of unlearning and relearning to do.
Hmm. Okay. Wow. So let's move on to another topic because you're doing so many things here. I want to get everything in.
Thank you.
The debt-free degree and financial justice. So it sounds like you're still in the justice. It's an extension of Martin Luther King and
Yes.
justice.
Yes.
How did financial freedom develop for you? How did this come into your life?
Yes, so a little bit of an extension of the story with the King Center. I attended my first orientation to Dr. King's philosophy in April of
Okay.
2018. In August of 2018, Dr. Bernice King, the youngest daughter of Coretta Scott King and Martin Luther King Jr., asked me if I wanted to be a trainer, a certified trainer.
Okay.
So we started that process. There are only 10 trainers in the world, three senior trainers and Dr. Bernice. So there's 14 of us in the world teaching the methodology and philosophy of Martin Luther King from the King Center. So there
Right.
are lots of forms of nonviolence, but it is very specific. It's why I put Kingian nonviolence in my bio because I want people to know that that's whose methodology I'm following. a form of nonviolence is debt-free degree. And so
Right.
I've written a book and it's all throughout here. It's all about how, financial freedom, helping communities, full communities understand the power of personal and generational wealth.
Mm.
Because when right now, Swami, 37% of all students who owe student loan debt owe over six figures.
No, it's crazy.
So imagine if you had that six figures instead of paying back student loans, which is making somebody else rich. Imagine if you had that much income, that much disposable money that you could put into your community, that you
Mm.
could put into buying a car or buying a home, or what
Mm.
would it look like to, to be able to donate some of that money, and
Right.
for causes that are important to you. And so understanding this generational wealth, building this generational wealth the minute you graduate from college without any debt. But the thing is, and it's what I call the human algorithm, everybody has student loan debt. So all these students are hearing all these messages. It's not do you, it's how much do you have and how will you manage it? And
Right.
I'm trying to break through that and say, no, 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 we can do this completely debt free. So I have 3 degrees, including my PhD, and I only took $1,000 in loans.
Wow.
I can map any degree completely debt free.
Wow.
And
That's amazing.
so looking at how we can do that, but it's pick your hard because paying off six-figure debt is hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Earning a debt-free degree is hard. So I'm not saying it's easy,
Right.
but it is completely doable. And it is a form of financial justice.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because you are economically free.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're on the level playing field
Yes.
with anybody who's doesn't have a weight on their back, you know.
Right, right. And what's crazy, Swami, and this is not every student loan debt. I mean, every student loan, but there are some student loans that, okay, so we go to college, we go to university, we get the knowledge, it's in our head. If I die, then the knowledge is gone.
Right. Right.
But there are some student loans that if I died, they would pass to my heirs
Wow.
to have to pay off before they inherited anything from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. That's not so. And how did you come up with this? It sounds like you just discovered it by doing it yourself through your own
Well,
experience.
it is through experience. However, my parents said to me, really from the time I was born, you are going to go to college and we do not go into debt for education.
Okay. So,
And so I just thought everybody did that. And it was
yeah.
not until 2005, I was working in higher ed, and I started hearing these students talking about, I'm taking the maximum amount of loans. And I was like, what does that mean? So at that point, tuition, books, fees, room and board was this amount, but they were allowed to borrow this amount. So they were
Oh,
borrowing this amount. And I kept saying, you've got to pay that back. And in 2005, I was hearing students talk about, I'll graduate with 20 grand in debt or something like that. Like it was no big deal. And I was like, it is a huge deal. And of
yeah.
course, now, as I mentioned, the six-figure debt. We have $1.7 trillion in this country of student loan debt. And so, being on a mission, so I've probably helped thousands of students. In fact, I have this one student that graduated in 2008, and he earned his debt-free degree. He has 12 children, and the oldest six are in middle school, high school, or college, and all six of them are on track to earn a debt-free degree. They all, the middle schoolers have side hustles and different things that they're doing. And then, of course, the younger six will too. So I'm helping second generation now.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's how it came about is me having this skill set, thinking everybody else was taught the same thing and they weren't. But again, back to my higher power. And I don't know if you ever feel this way, Swami, but like all three of the things that I do, leading with love, debt-free degree, and nonviolence teaching for the King Center, all three of them, I am very much like a salmon swimming upstream. I'm very much countercultural. I'm very much trying to be a voice, counteracting this big, massive voice that says, do it another
Right.
way.
Right.
The world says violence is exactly how we get what we want.
Mm.
And they say love is weak and love is passive and it won't work. Well,
Mm.
guess what? We have tried violence a really long time.
Yeah.
In all the ways, in all the countries, in all the languages, in all the policies. We've tried it and it has not gotten us what we say that we want. and let's try love.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had studied something about this back in, I'm trying to think of the order it worked. I think it was, so there's three people. I think it started with Thoreau, Henry David Thoreau, and he had a nonviolent approach.
Yes,
And Gandhi read his information and developed his
yes,
nonviolent approach. And
yes,
then Dr. King read Gandhi.
yes,
And so it's actually universal. It's going across the globe.
exactly,
So
exactly,
it's very,
exactly.
very exciting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what kind of loans? What would be examples of debt-free loan? What would be no loan or free money strategies that you would somebody might think about when um, they would take your program?
One of the strategies that I recommend is thinking about time. So each one of us are given 168 hours a week. If we work full time, a 40-hour week, that is 24% of our week. So a lot of students will say, "Oh, I can't work full time while I'm in college." But even if you work full time, you still have 76% of your week to sleep, to go to class, to study, to have fun with friends, to party, to, do a sorority if you want to do all these other things. And the
Right.
time is going to pass by anyway. And so there are a lot of opportunities for employers who will say, if you will work for us, then we'll pay for your degree. Or there are some that it's just a benefit. So it's how I got my PhD for free. I was already working at the University System of Georgia, and I was working at one institution. And when you work for the University System of Georgia and 32 other states, then you get free tuition and fees at their entire system.
Well,
So I was working at one institution. I got my PhD at another institution as a benefit of me being a full-time employee. And I was explaining this, this has been many, many, many years ago, to a friend of mine who is actually a dean. She's an amazing lady, amazing educator. But I was explaining to her about debt-free degree and the power of that. And I was explaining to her this concept of, working in higher ed. She goes, no, 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 no. Student workers, they don't get that because it's not full time. I said, I'm not talking about student workers. I'm talking about full-time employees. And there are jobs on campuses that don't yet require a bachelor's degree. And so
hmm,
you can apply for those, but you still get all the benefits that everybody who works there gets.
that's
And so
pretty good.
she goes, her immediate thought, Swami, I mean, the immediate thought was that would throw off our graduation rate.
What does that mean? That,
Because schools are graded by how quickly students get through. Is your highest
oh,
graduation
oh,
rate
oh, I
4 years
see.
or 5 years or whatever?
I
A
see.
debt-free degree on that path would throw off the graduation rate.
I see.
So and guess what helps the graduation rate? Student loans. Oh, you want to
Mm.
get out quick? Oh, then
Yeah.
take this loan and then you figure out later how to pay it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. I mean, like you said, three things you're doing are all breaking with the mainstream views,
yes,
which keep us exactly where things are.
yes,
So,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's not an easy journey, but it's a rewarding journey.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Curious to know. So go back to the principles of leading with love. What would be the first action you would recommend to a listener today if they started today? Say, how do I start practicing principles of leading with love?
So today, and when we're recording this, it's during holiday season here in the US. Today, I would say, and in leading with love, and I did not come up with this, so I'm borrowing this. Love stands for letting others voluntarily evolve and letting ourselves voluntarily evolve.
Hmm.
So in every interaction, letting others voluntarily evolve. Because guess what? I think I've shared with you already that the Elizabeth who graduated high school, the Elizabeth who was mom to a ninth grader, is far different than the Elizabeth today.
Right.
And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to voluntarily evolve to where I am today. And others need to also be able to have that space. So it means meeting someone exactly where they are and saying, okay, we're disagreeing here, but I honor your humanity. So, for example, a very easy example. This happened about a year ago. I was in the grocery store and I was checking out, and this cashier had a name tag on, and his name was not one I'd ever seen before. And it did not look easily pronounceable by this little Georgia Southern Peach. However,
Okay.
I attempted it and I was like, hey, blah, blah, how are you today? I mean, Swami, his head snapped back at me. He looked at me. He said, I've been here 8 hours and no one has called me by name. Our names are powerful. That's
Yeah.
all it takes to help someone feel seen. Is call them by name.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, can you share your long-term vision? We're coming to wrap up soon. Your 50-year vision. You have a long-term vision for love, love evolution, where you hope humanity will be when the mission is fully realized.
Oh, yeah. First of all, there is no more student loan debt. Uh, then it is truly all of us loving each one of us because we are so much better as a collective than we understand. And once we get the power together for everybody to be their highest best self. So I have an amazing business coach, Julie Miller Davis, and those of us in her mastermind were all over the country, and so we gather every year for a 3 day intensive. And she did this exercise with us, and we were all sitting around the room. And I was the first one to go, so I didn't know what to expect. And so she sat in front of me and she goes, okay, Dr. Ross, what is your big, hairy, audacious goal? And I said, 8 billion people loving 8 billion people, one heart at a time. And she goes, okay, go bigger. And I was stuck. I was like, how do I go bigger? And I think I stumbled on something and go bigger, go bigger. And I was kind of stumbling. And she said, go bigger. And I said, when an astronaut orbits the Earth, they look down and all they see is that the Earth is vibrating purple because all 8 billion of us are operating at our highest, best self. That's my 50-year vision.
Wow. All right. Beautiful. All right. I guess there's nothing more I can ask that. That says everything.
Oh.
It's been real special. How are folks going to find you now? What's like a website or how do people connect with you?
My website is really easy. It's drroz.love, Love. That's the end of all of my website pages. So drroz.love. Up at the top right, it says my heart to heart scheduling links. If you want time with me, then
Mm.
all the information I have there about leading with love. I also do heart sightings. So that's a page on my website. And what we look for, we find, Swami. And
Yeah.
so people will text me or email me their pictures that they found, whatever hearts that they found, and I put them on there. And so I just love to share love into the world.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Dr. Oz, it's been a great pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing on Mission Ignited. You have three missions you've ignited, so that's the goal. You've got the number one spot with three missions.
Oh, good, 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 good. Well, Swami, you, like I said, you are such a love, and to have the opportunity to talk about debt-free degree and leading with love and Kingy and nonviolence is such a joy and a delight. And I thank you
Great.
for this time with you and your community. I thank you for all that you're doing in the world.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. God bless. Joy, joy, joy.
Joy, joy, joy.